Hi there, guys. Hope all is well. Welcome to the game. It's actually offline, which is insane. We had a few technical difficulties, but we've got to make it happen, right? So today I'm going to run through the Messari report with Solana. But before we do that, I'm going to run through the disclaimer. So let me just pull that up. Boom. So guys, let's get through the boring stuff, right? All of our content is for education, information, and entertainment purposes only, and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy, sell, hold any assets, or place any trades, right? Please do your own what? Do your own research, right? Because our content is only intended and should only be used for informational use only. It's very important to do your own analysis before making your own investments, and it's also important to make investments based on your own circumstances, right? So you should always take professional advice and independent advice from a professional advisor, and independently research and verify any information you may find on our show that you may wish to rely upon. Whether you make an investment decision or otherwise, it's very important to do your own research. Why? Because all investments come with risk, right? So please do your own research. We're not financial advisors. No one here today are accredited financial advisors, so we do not perceive or we don't intend to be perceived or received as financial advisors, right? However, we're working in collaboration with several accredited advisors, guys. So what does that mean? If you're unable to mitigate your risk, please get in touch with us and we'll get you guys in touch with a professional accredited financial advisor with special paperwork, right? Cool. So now that's out of the way, without any further ado, I'll say let's get straight into it. So today is quite exciting. We're going to be covering a Q2 report on Solana by our beautiful and lovely friends, Messari. We really do enjoy all of their reports, to be honest with you, especially their annual and yearly reports that absolutely have incredible game. So yeah, it's always an honor to be able to present and share some things going on with Messari. And our friends over at Solana, we're going to do a little bit of a run through of the Solana ecosystem and have a look at how it's been going. Of course, we're hitting Q3 past that, right? But the Q2 report is out. It's the most recent report that's out. So let's have a look at the incredible growth, because during this time, Solana's been doing incredible and incredibly well. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Here we're going to look at the Q2 report and go through the state of Solana as a whole. And I'll just be pointing out a few pointers and a few parts of this report that I feel like are really great to highlight. And without any further ado, let's all get into it together. So here we go. So we all know, first of all, let's run through the key insights, right? Pump.fun, gamified token launch platform, done very incredible. So yeah, we saw lots of different versions and types by the likes of Dex Screener. They came out of Moonshot after the fact, and it's very, very interesting to see how incredible that was as a whole, and a lot of money was generated. But Pump.fun essentially was just a platform which people could utilize to launch their own tokens, and we saw a lot of meme coins and tokens come from that platform, which was really interesting to see because there was a lot of capital being flowing through Solana as an ecosystem. Then we saw stuff for Base, and now we're seeing Ton. It was a really cool transition that we've seen of capital flowing. Then there's a dialect, and the Solana Foundation launched the Solana Actions and the blockchain Blinks. So this enables users to preview and execute transactions directly in various digital environments. For example, with X, which is really cool. So you got the links right there. Institutional builders have been continuing to choose Solana for payment use cases. So they had PayPal, which was a big one as well. And I think that's a huge piece. I think that's because Solana's so fast and so cost effective. It's very efficient, very cheap. So I think those are the two main reasons why I think is really good for payment systems, DeFi platforms, launch pads, etc. So we've seen a lot of that. We're going to get into it a little bit later, where you can actually see a few of the platforms that have launched, and then we're going to have a look at the whole Solana ecosystem as a whole and be able to break down together exactly what that looks like. So yeah, and what else happened? Let's have a look. Several Solana ecosystem teams unveiled scaling solutions that enable users to remain on L1, right? So they had some zero knowledge compression by the Light Protocol and Helios, and also Magic Block Engine. So that's really cool. So there's some really dope scaling solutions and also zero knowledge solutions now on Solana, which is very cool. Spam. Now, the final thing was spam transactions from meme coin activity and ore mining led to the network congestion in early Q2, right? So yeah, that's very interesting, right? So much activity that they can't handle, eh? Who'd have thought it? An agave update and to leveraging staked awaited quality of service alleviated the issue and also introduced a new structural demand for Sol. So I think that they were able to handle it and pivoted, and also were able to add value to the native token. So that's really good to see. Lots and lots of smart, really cool, innovative things that have been happening with Solana. Um, we're going to get a little bit into the numbers and get a little bit of a deeper understanding of, what does that look like on the numbers side? What does that look like on the user side? And everything of that nature. So let's get deeper into it. So let's have a look at the Solana key metrics overview. So we're going to look at the financials, then we're going to look at the network and the ecosystem fees, etc. And then we're going to look a little bit more at the ecosystem as a whole. So DEXs, NFTs, and TVL locked into DeFi protocols. So as we can see, coming out of 2023, there's been significant growth. Q1 started off, it looks a lot heavier in terms of growth in 2024, and then Q2 we see a slight drop off on a circulating market cap, slight drop off, but there was a huge increase in Q1, so that is kind of expected, right? And in Q1 it was a total of 90 billion in market cap, circulating market cap, and then it trickled down a little bit in Q2 to 67.7 billion, which is still quite substantial. So that was quite interesting to see. Now let's have a look at the daily fees and to understand exactly what's been happening through that. So you can see that the average transaction fees have been remaining quite consistent at 0.002 in early 2023. But as you can see, it really increased quite dramatically, but not a lot, of course. It's still fractions of a penny, right? But it's now at 0.002. Instead of 3 zeros, it's 2 zeros to the 2, right? So that's increased 10x, which is quite substantial, right? It's x'd a lot. But still it's very low, and what we've seen is it's remained around about that 0.02 area, but then it increased early in Q1 2024. It went up to 0.01, right? So that other zero is gone, and then now it's 0.02. So you can see that there's been a quite a large increase in terms of the average transaction size. And as we know, there was a high influx of traders, of people jumping on Solana, and a high influx. So it's expected to have more higher fees, right? So it must be really great for the validators, right? And really great for the MEV guys that have been active on Solana. So let's have a look at the active validators. Let's just have a look at Q1 2024. You can see that there's 1,700, and it had quite a large drop off, couple hundred down to 1.5 thousand, 1.5k at Q2 2024. But you can see that it was growing. Early 2023, peaked at about 2,000, and it slowly dropped back down, and it's actually dropped down lower than Q2 of 2023, which is quite a substantial drop down. Yeah, percentage wise, it's still around about 11%, so somewhat of like a level out, if you get what I mean, within a network. Now, if we look at the ecosystem as a whole, DeFi, let's have a look at total value locked. Now that's increased incredibly, right? So early in 2023, that was only $0.3 billion, right? 300 million. Now it's $4.5 billion. Insane amount of growth in a year. So from Q2 2023 to Q2 2024, whopping amount of growth and a lot of total value locked in DeFi. So you can see that they've had a huge growth and influx in that. So there must have been a lot of DeFi projects and altcoins and launch pads and etc., which we'll get into. But yeah, very, very exciting and very interesting to see. And now we can see if we look at the dexes, it's the same sort of growth, or it was 0.0 billion in 2023 Q2, and now it's at 1.7 billion. So a very large amount of growth. You know, uh, just starting at the end of 2023, that growth happened. So as you can see, that there wasn't a large amount of dexes and volume pumping through Solana, but now they've been able to have that level of activity, and you can see behind the growth of the token in itself. Now let's have a look at NFTs, because I believe that that's quite a a large market that's been coming up as well. We've seen a lot, radium and trading and checking out these different platforms. We've seen a lot of really large growth for NFT projects as well, which has been really cool. But very, very fast moving from my experience, which has been really interesting. But you can see that they've done well. Early 2023 had about 2.4 million in NFT volume, like transaction volume, right? Daily volume. And it peaked early 2024 Q1, right? Peaked to 7.6 million, right? And now it's wickled down, almost cut in half, basically cut in half right there to 3.4 million. So you can see that NFT volume is significantly dropped. I just really feel like the NFTs are for the peak of the bull market. I feel like the activity starts then. It's like one of the last cycles that we see within, the markets as a whole. So I think that it will be something that we'll see a lot more growth further into later on this year. So let's say near the end of this year into 2025, I think we'll see a bit more growth in the NFT space and market. It's just not its time right now, in my opinion. But there still are large movers and a lot of growth on Solana, which a lot of our snipers have seen. A lot of our people have been catching some really dope X's. So, I think it's just a matter of time, right? Now, total raised in the ecosystem. Damn. Okay, these numbers are interesting. So 10 million in Q2 2023, cool. Q2 2024, 112.8 million. Not bad. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. So that's pretty good. Pretty good. In terms of, total raised, it's not bad at all. And the growth has been immense. I mean, gone from 10 million to 112 mil in a year. That's good growth. That's good growth. Cool. So let's have a look at a little bit more. Okay, we've gone through these. Now this is important. Weekly active ecosystem developers. Ooh, these numbers need to climb. So weekly active ecosystem developers are looking around about 500 in Q2 2023. A lot more builders, a lot more builders, less activity. What can you do? You can build, right? Now we're looking at a year later, in 2024 Q2, and the developer base is looking like 358 a week in terms of the active devs, which is very interesting. I thought the numbers would be a lot higher, to be honest. But I think some work to be done there, to be honest. Projects funded in the ecosystem. Okay, cool. So Q2 2024 was really when they had a lot of capital coming in. And you can see, obviously, that was that 112 mil. But that was spanned across a number of 47 projects. So let's just do some quick math. 47. So that is an average of 2.3 mil. I would say, that's a 2.3 mil average investment, which is interesting. Very interesting. Cool. So that's not that bad, right? So there's been a handful of projects that have managed to get that good amount of capital in. So 2 mil, 2.3, not bad at all, in my opinion. So yeah, pretty good. Yeah, I just really think they need to get more active developers on chain. But yeah, there's still been quite a lot of projects launching, and I feel like they have a small developer base, but damn, they got a lot of devs building out a lot of projects. To be honest with you, from first-hand experience. Now let's have a look at the Solana ecosystem as a whole, because I think this piece is what everyone's here for, right? Just get your popcorn out and get ready to research, guys, because we've got a lot of areas here to cover. Let's have a little look at the dexes. We've got Orca, got Radium, which I mentioned a little bit earlier. We've got Open Book, Lifinity, interesting. Goose FX, sounds like Forex to me. Interesting. And Meta Aura, cool. We've got Flux Beam, and Phoenix. So those are the dexes, looking quite cool. So if you guys are into your futures, you jump on the Jupiter, right? If you want to really go crazy, you go on Mango. If you really want to go crazy, you go on Drift. And then there's Hero. I guess it's Hero with X. Flash Trade and Zeta. So for the perps, if you guys want to catch them futures, if you feel like when the crystal ball on the market is going to go up or go down, that's where you need to be. Now, if you're looking to buy that dip with them existing tokens that you got, you put them stables, you buy that dip, right? Then you want to know about these lending protocols. So we've got Margin FI, so Margin Fi, and then we've got Solana Lend, right? And then we've got Camino. That's quite interesting. And you can actually get yield on Camino, and you can also get yield on the DEX Meta Aura. So that's quite interesting as well. Now, some things that we do love is that liquid staking, guys. So let's have a look at this platform here. We've got Marinade for liquid staking, Jitto for liquid staking, Blaze Stake. Damn, we've got a lot. Right, let's have a look at these RWAs because there's a lot of very interesting ones that we've been seeing. But before we can't skip over this brand new PayPal USDT, basically token, stable token, and obviously USDC, USDT, and USDY, which is interesting. And now I think this is really cool. This is a gem. These RWA projects, Maple, Parcel, Homebase. Make sure you guys check these projects out. Now these are Dex tools as well. So some Dex tooling. Got BonkBot. Check that out as well. We've got aggregators and Dex tools. BonkBot, Bird Eye, Trojan, DFlow, and Rug Check. You better check them rugs, right? Centralized exchanges, Backpack, very good for beginners. If you're really starting out on Solana, definitely get a wallet set up with Backpack. Super duper easy, super duper quick, and that's really great. And there's Cube as well. Now, if you're looking to restake, so that's very interesting. There's Picasso and Solana, and there's some experimental stuff which I ain't gonna mention because it sounds high risk. So if you guys want feeling experimental, it's on the screen. Now we had some really dope NFT projects here, but let's not forget about the meme coins, right? Pump.fun, incredible project in terms of business model structure. Click a button, make your token, you're good to go, right? So yeah, quite interesting. And then we got Bonk. Of course, Bonk's done very incredible, really dope and smart moves that they've done there. We've got Whiff, it's dog with hat really right there. Got Whiff, and we've got PopCat. So these are things you might see resurfacing or having some extra traction. So I would say keep an eye out on that, in my opinion. Now this is one that we actually covered here, for Ghana's. We covered this quite a while back on Tensor, and yeah, that one just done incredible. It was a really cool project. So shout out to everyone from Blockchain Sensor that jumped on that and was able to get the gains. And now there's Claynosaurs, right? I know Michael loves these ones, so I'm not going to say too much, but check out the Claynosaurs. Cool project right there. We've got Mad Lads, and we've got Tensorians and Chads, and then SMB. So these are quite large growth projects, as you can see. Now, where do you find them? On TensorTrade, on Magic Eden, on Crossmin, on Sniper, on Ovelos, Underdog, Sharkify. So where you find them, right? Now, one thing I'm interested in, as always, is gaming projects. So let's have a look. Of course, StepN, they got there. Star Atlas, of course, they got there. The Heist. The Heist, guys. Check out the Heist. Okay, I don't want to butcher that one. Armory. I guess I did butcher it. Geno Pets, Portals, Cloney, Blessed Burgers, Cupcake. Check out these ones as well. Creator platforms. Now, this is for the music people, right? Check out Drip, really great platform. Check out Audius. We might just be doing some stuff with these guys. You might see some stuff pop up. Cool. Blinks. This is where you get your links that you can put on your X, Send, or Blink.fun, or Dialect. Now let's have a look at some deep in projects, which is very interesting. We've got to love Render and Helium. Shout out to Render, and shout out to Helium. Really dope projects. And Hive Mappers doing really incredible as well, doing really big things with the decentralized mapping and tracking and tracing of the roads and digital mapping. Very interesting. And you can check out the rest of them there. Payment processing, you've got Beam, Boom, we've got Solana Pay, of course Visa and Shopify, we've got TipLink, Breeze, get your money in the Breeze, a lot of really cool stuff. Of course, Stripe there, Decaf and Code, cool. So these are some really dope areas to look at. Now, one thing I must say, if you want community, look no further than Super Team, right? And that is basically your link to Solana Foundation. And all of these lovely communities are also running all of these lovely events. So check them out, check them out, check them out. And if you want to get the alpha on projects, just check us out. And there's also some podcasts up there. We went through the wallets and everything. Now, let's not skip over these AI agents, Wayfinder, Dane, and Trustless ENG. So we got a lot of stuff to cover over the game, right? Fire Dancer for the clients and nodes. Agave, guys, if you really want to get involved in the ecosystem and start earning some yield from all of the growth, that's what you need to check out, right? So yeah, very very interesting one. Can't forget about Gelato over here for analytics. Solana FM, Soul Scan, Dune. If you guys want to look at the on-chain analysis and get some on-chain data, really cool, really cool. Now let's have a look at DeFi. Oh, fell by 9%. Okay, cool. But grew by 26% quarter on quarter. Incredible. So I think it's very important to understand, there's growth, there's losses, there's gains, right? But it's all about making sure that you're good for the next 2 quarters. Quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, quarter four. If you're bad for 2 quarters, then you're real bad. But if you can, take a loss and use that and flip that, make a gain, and beat your next quarter, then it's okay. That's part of the business. Hyper growth, right? But as you can see, most of the hyper growth came from Radium, Camino, Jupiter, Drift, Margin Fi, Solend, and other, right? But that other is quite a large chunk of that growth, as you can see here. Very interesting indeed. Now, let's talk about this Pump.Fun. Radium's average volume got spurred by Pump.Fun. So, guess what? Radium came out and projects came and launched. Where did they go? Radium. So, what happened? Radium's revenue increased. More projects, more chances to make money, more transaction fees, bigger spreads. You get what I'm saying? All right. So as you can see, Radium in Q2 had a volume of a whopping 867 million, and that is huge, right? Pump.Fun had 63 million in volume. Incredible. So you can see that they had quite a large growth right there, but Radium's on top, right? The main platform for the platform. Who would have thought it? Cool. PayPal, they're doing their thing. Just starting off with a 75 mil going on. It's very interesting. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the growth of this and see how big that pool does go, because we'll see if it can creep up to USDT and USDC. But as you can see, the preferred stable token on Solana is USDC. So shout out to Circle. Cool. Right. So let's have a look at the growth of these projects. As we calculated, it was about an average of 2.3 million per project, right? 112 point something. I think it was 0.3 or 0.8 million totally injected in Q2. Quite interesting. Very large compared to 2023. As you can see, it's had a huge curve. And it's almost creeping back up to similar numbers to Q3 of 2022. But we're getting close to them bull run numbers. Getting close. I think there's a lot of very good notion for Solana at the moment. I think the reason why they have that as well is because of the hard work that they've been putting into events during the bear market. I believe they had a huge presence globally. I spent tons of money on events and were able to really have a core community of developers building on chain. And a lot of those developers were flying globally, going to different events and having fun. and building out products and networking, etc. So I think the way that they've done things is very, very smart compared to all the other chains. I think a lot of the other chains could take a leaf from their book in regards to events, running events, building and growing and expanding their communities and building a core community, because a lot of the developers that we know that are building on Solana are Solana native developers, which goes to show that they've done a really good job there. But yeah, 47 projects. I'm guessing an average ticket size of 2.3 mil, which is quite interesting. Now let's have a look. Now they had a lot of prizes with the hackathons, 30k, 50k, a lot of 30k prizes. So that's a lot of money that they're giving away to people that are developing and building, which is good. 140k in additional rewards here. So yeah, lots and lots of prizes and money to be won in the hackathons. Bonk, Phase Labs. See, there's 350k in total prizes. So that's really great. So if you're involved in these events, if you're in these hacker houses, if you're doing these different events, then guess what? You might end up making some money. Interesting. In regards to MEV, there was a large amount of tips and increases in terms of value that they were giving out to MEV companies and people helping run and manage all of the nodes and validate basically essentially the whole of the blockchain, help them run. Obviously there's high influx, so incentive to utilize your compute to be active to help ensure transactions are swift and are efficient and cost effective. So we saw a huge increase in regards to that. They done a closing summary, but I'm gonna do my own closing summary, right? Yeah, in regards to Solana, there's been incredible growth. We've seen a lot of really, really great projects building on Solana as well. Being great to have hands-on experience with them in terms of helping them build, advise them, help working with their pitch decks, and helping them refine their products. So that's been a incredible journey. And with the team at Blockchain Sensei, it's been incredible to be more hands-on and work directly with a lot of these projects. But I think Solana had a lot of really great growth, and I still think there is some growth to come, and I think that they'll of course do very well in the bull run. And this bull run, I will say, is more a little bit RWAs popping up, but it's still meme tokens blasting out, right? Pump.fun just showed everyone, like this is the new way of doing things, and there will be a lot of replicas. A lot of capital was made from that project, and who doesn't want to make a lot of capital, right? So people will do the same thing, and I think that there will be similar things from other chains as well, which will be interesting to see. But I think there's a huge gaming narrative that we're seeing with Ton, a huge AI narrative with certain tokens that are launching, and then there's a huge narrative with meme coins and tokens, and then there's RWA kind of popping up, but actual things that will help and save the world and make money more liquid and da da da. So I think that will come more later, but we're seeing a lot of really large infrastructure projects, and I believe RWA and things of that nature will be the reason why we have like really large adoption to blockchain technologies, because people will be using it without even knowing. And I think that's where we need to get to. But until then, it's really interesting to see the different innovations and concepts that come from the blockchains and different blockchains. And I think Solana's done an incredible job in terms of, being fast, efficient, cheap, working. Of course, they've had a few hacks and certain issues, but, it's been mainly platform based really, which is interesting. So that's pretty much my opinion. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. And today it has been the game, and it's been myself, Keishon. Everyone calls me Keish. Call me K. I'm easy. But yeah, it's been a pleasure to run through this report with you guys. And this has been a beautiful, beautiful Messari report. Running through the state of Solana in Q2 2024, and looking forward to doing lots more of these And if you guys want to talk to the research analysis, his email is right here. So there you go. Thank you guys, and many blessings.